Hello everyone. Welcome to another interaction with rank holders. This time we have from CA Inter. Welcome Sudeepta and welcome Arjun. Heartiest welcome and heartiest congratulations from everyone of us, from the from the team, from the students. Right. So first question to Arjun: how are you feeling like after seeing yesterday's result? What was your initial reaction?
First half an hour, just like couldn't even think about what had happened because I'd basically given my phone to my mother to just like let me know whenever the results come because two sleepless nights couldn't go through another one. So I'd
Okay.
basically given mom my phone to let me know whenever the results come. And for some reason, the results came at 11 o'clock while I was expecting them to be out at 3. So
Okay.
she was like, okay, the results have come. And I'm like, okay, that's not something I expected. So I opened the results, and obviously, I think anyone would do this. First, they'll look at that word pass.
Correct.
And that I told mom, ki, mom, everything settled, I passed my exam. And the celebration started. And then I saw my score, it was 600 and something. Did not even see the entire score. It was 600 and something. So, like, I can expect a rank here. And then and
Definitely.
I opened, they checked the merit list, and I was like, oh, another thing which I did not expect. And after that, till now, I don't know, something or the other has just been happening and it's just been numbing in a way.
Okay. So did you have lunch yesterday after 11 o'clock or
I
not?
didn't. I remember I had one bread pakoda and one kachori the whole day, and then at 10:45 I we ordered food from KFC, which came late, which was sad, but that's all we ate. जैसे कहते
Okay.
हैं ना
So
almost like खुशी से पेट भर गया.
correct.
So literally it was
That's
like.
good. Yeah. So Sudipta, how did you feel when
Yes,
you
the
saw the
same. So
result?
still, it's very overwhelming. It feels like a dream, actually. Like Arjun said, ki wo initial ka. I mean, when you check it, before that,
Right.
that is the scariest thing, actually. When you hit that
Mm-hmm.
submit button, no, when you put your roll number and then you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? So my
Mm-hmm.
mom was with me. I was like, okay, check hi kar lete hain. My group people, may like my friends, told me that results are out. So
Okay.
then I was like that, the shift that happened after I checked, that is something else, once in a lifetime moment. So I had tears in my eyes. I couldn't stop myself. That was like
Okay.
really, really amazing. And you're getting texts and calls from people from everywhere. They're asking you, they're congratulating you. That's really like amazing and great feeling, actually.
And I think in this age of social media, it becomes viral so quickly, right? So
Yes.
that way.
Like you
Okay. So
see people in the videos and you watch their videos, and now you're in the video, so it's completely
yeah.
like very different.
I
And
mean, you always aim for a rank and you always want to be that one person who gets that particular number. But you never actually, it never, just a TV pe dekhte hain. So like,
how
you
I
want to be
say,
the character, but you know that it's not going to happen. And then it happens and you still can't get to terms with it. Like, I still am not feeling as if I've received any rank. I just feel weird at this point.
yes, true, very true.
So okay. So whom did you inform first? Obviously, parents would be there around next to you. So whom did you first call up or text? Oh, hey, I got a rank.
Mom was right there next to me. My father was at ghar pe, so like I told them kya hua, and then
Mm-hmm.
I mean, okay, so three people, three different phones which were being used. But since I'm also in regular college, I'm doing college from Sri Venkateswara College, Delhi University. So I'm
Okay.
in Venki. So it was because I'm also pretty active in college. So I just sent these two texts on my class group and my dram sock group. Guys have come AIR1, and it just started happening. And after that, the moment became so special because I'm AIR1, AIR2, and AIR4. They're from my class, and they're very close friends of mine.
Oh, okay, okay. So you
All
have
three
a
of
group
us,
already.
that matter, AIR4 and I were very, very close friends. We were talking right ek din pehle result ke, and we used to hang out and stuff. We were all from the same class. So it was a huge celebration of Venkyites. Everyone be like, "Arey, ye kya ho gaya ekdam se?"
So congratulations once again for your friends as well, right? So how about you, Sudipta? Whom did you inform first
Yes,
after?
as my mom was next to me, so we
Okay.
checked it together, and then I informed my, like, she only informed my dad, and then my brother because I was busy crying. So I couldn't
Oh,
talk.
okay.
तो वैसे हुआ
Nice.
फिर friends को, I mean teachers को, my
Great.
coaching
Great.
teachers and then other teachers and school में, it just went like fire everywhere.
Yeah, it does.
People
It
I
does.
didn't even inform, they started congratulating me. So I was
Exactly.
like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
I got a
Insta पे
call
कहाँ से वही,
yesterday.
yes, yes.
I
That's
randomly
all.
got a call yesterday. Dude, I don't know you. You don't know me, but I know that you've got a rank. So congratulations.
Yes,
That
yes,
is
yes,
that's. I
yes.
think you should
That's what.
celebrate. You should celebrate these. This will continue for another week, 10 days, 15 days. You should actually celebrate it. Final articleship will happen, but then celebrate this. This is something. There's a great achievement, and which you
We
should
still
celebrate.
need time to digest and process
Yeah.
everything that is
Yeah, I
happening
don't
around
feel
us
any
right now.
different from day before yesterday, but so much has been happening.
So much has been happening.
Correct. Correct. So if we go back, a few years back when you decided to, that, okay, I will do CA. So why did you decide, or how did you choose chartered accountancy as a career? Is there some family background, or you saw your friends or seniors? So how did you start? So Deepta, if you can, the answer on
Yeah,
that.
so my dad has a friend who's a CA. So childhood से
Okay.
उनको देखा था, मतलब my parents used to give a lot of respect. तभी से CA का नाम सुना था खाली. So
Okay.
after 10th, I somehow decided to like take commerce, and then बहुत ज़्यादा interest आ गया accounts and all this में. So
Okay.
I was like, I wanted to get into the practical aspect because from the starting we've been learning like theory, na, books say and all, but we've never actually
Correct.
implemented it. So I just wanted to
Right.
get into that, like how you consult, how you like do everything. Also, हमारे like relatives and family, no one is a CA. That also
Okay.
was another factor. Ki, no, I have to be the first then. So many like medical, lawyer, everything is there, but CA is not there. So that also motivated.
So let us do CA, and let us take all their accounts and then make things out of that. And how about you, Arjun? Now, when did you decide, and how did you decide
So
to
even I
choose?
don't have none. My mamu is a CA, but like
Okay.
we're not like super close. So other
Mhm.
than that, we're not. I don't have any CA other than that in my family.
Okay.
So I basically decided to become a CA in ninth class. So my mom was very. She wanted me to have a very clear career path because she knew that the competition is really rising, and she wanted to know what streams I'm choosing, and she wanted me to decide. She didn't want to impose anything. So in
Okay.
ninth class, throughout ninth, we did, I don't know, 5 billion aptitude tests to decide which stream I want to get into. Then we decided if I'm going to do commerce, what I can do in commerce. So everything all the time came down to CA. And after a while, I started really enjoying, the line as the little research and stuff. And
Hmm.
since then, it's always been since ninth class, just been about CA. And for some reason, it just clicks. And whenever I'm studying, it makes me very happy. So I think it was the right call.
Right. Right. So from your foundation, now you have moved to inter. What was the difference in your preparation strategy? A lot of students feel that foundation ho jayega, it happens, right? But then what was your strategy for CA inter specifically? If you have to ask, what was the difference in the approach? Because you have content which you have not seen earlier. Things are newer, right? Content is also fast. So how did you prepare for CA inter? If you can share that with the students.
Arjun?
CA foundation and CA inter cannot be compared. I
Okay.
mean, maybe three subjects of CA foundation make up one subject of inter, and there are eight of them. You
Right.
cannot compare, even if you did like foundation very well or you got a rank in foundation, you cannot compare it with inter. Just like I'm sure you can't compare inter with final in any way. They're
Definitely we can.
very different lines. So the thing is, foundation, it was more or less pretty chill because the subjects are very similar from your 12th class. So it's basically as if you're doing the same thing over and over again. So foundation was probably just how you prepare for your 12th standard, nothing, anything major. But inter was a shift. It was a proper shift. You had to get to the fifth gear from the very beginning. You had to. So I, for one, I'm a person who used to wake up at 3 in the morning every day
Okay.
for throughout my preparation. I used to start at 4. So you have to make those sacrifices. You have to cut yourself from social media. You have to give up the world for that particular period. which is not, I mean, it's always good if you do that for foundation as well, but foundation ho jata hai managed. But for inter,
Okay.
this has to be done if you know, are aiming for a rank, or even if you want to pass.
So, that's a startling, thing which he said. People talk about getting up at 5 a.m., 4:34. He got up at 3 a.m. all throughout his preparation, which is great,
Because they say that
great thing
4
done.
to 8 is a very, very productive time. And I have experienced that. Whatever you do us time, you really don't feel the effect of that after 8. It's as if you've just woken up. So I wanted to utilize that entire 4 to 8 ka duration. So I woke up at 3. I could give myself 1 full hour to chill and relax and take a shower, aram se, and then I could like get into my gear.
So they say, right, early birds catches the worm, and that's
Mhm.
what looks like. And so he gives himself an additional 3 to 4 hours of the day when all the rest of the world would be sleeping. He started his preparation. So Sudipta, how was your approach? What was your preparation? Were you also getting up at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning, or where you were like, start my, it is a night preparation kind of a thing?
I agree with Arjun about the foundation and inter, whatever is said is true, because there's a very big shift. 12th May you have like accounts and things. So you know the concepts. It's kind of easier to do it. And you also have like two objectives papers, right? So you can at least prepare it and do. But inter ka completely different ho jata hai. It's a
Right.
very vast subject. And you don't even know, like first time you're doing it. So then also it's difficult, but you have to put in all the efforts. But Arjun used to like get up at 3. I used to sleep at 3 or 4. So for me, I'm a night owl. So
Okay.
I'm more productive at night. I used to like complete my daily goals, jitna bhi raat ho. And then I used to sleep in the morning, get up a bit late, and then again do the same.
Right. So, how many hours of studies you would have put in if you say like on a daily, on an average basis, it may not, so as you plan, like initial days, how many hours, and because that is one question what a lot of students come back and ask, how many hours should we study, right? So, Sudipta, how many hours did you study when you were preparing?
It actually differs from person to person. Your grasping power, how easily, how quickly you learn, you grasp things. For me, I didn't have a like fixed time schedule. So what I used to do is daily goals is there like this many concepts I have to finish. So I don't see the clock till I finish. I'll be wake. I mean, jagti रहूंगी and I'll finish that.
Okay.
So average में बोलने से you have to give 14 to 16 hours definitely.
Right. So that's
Not
how.
every day. Some day it can be 12 hours when you don't feel that good or when you feel kind of low. You can give 12 hours. Next day you can make it up for that. So
Okay.
for
So
me
that's
that
like
was
12 to 14 hours. That's what Sudipta says.
yes,
How
yes.
about you, Arjun? How many hours
I
did you
mean,
have in mind?
I totally agree with her. I don't think setting hours
Yes.
is a very good way of measuring productivity. It's the topics. Again, even I used to make goals, and I never stuck to X number of hours that I had to do. Dekha jaye to I
Right.
used to start at 4 in the morning, continue till 8 at night. But then I did not study for 4 to 8 pura, right? It's not humanly possible. You take,
Yes.
what I did, I used to make slots. I had like 40 alarms on my phone. 2.5 घंटे का 2.5 hours का एक slot, then a 10-minute break, then 2.5 hours and a 15-minute break. Some toward closer to the exam, I reduced the study slots to 1.5 hours, then a break because the pressure keeps increasing. So the thing is, for me, it's not the number of hours really. It's just that you have to study the whole day. That is one criteria which this is 4 to 8 I used to study, but usme I used to sleep for 1 hour in the afternoon also. I used to have my lunch also. But more than that, it is the consistency. You don't
Okay.
have to study for 16 hours for 5 days and after that take like 2 weeks ka break. It has to continue for months, for maybe like sometimes. So, for example, I studied for 1.5 years. It has to continue for that long.
So I think so. What comes out is consistency is one key thing. Second thing is there is no single strategy which will fit everyone. Like so, we have one who sleeps at 3 and the other who gets up at 3, and both of them did really well in their examination. So I think a message to the student is you have to find your way, and you have to think through as to what are your best times of preparation, and then follow it and do it consistently. Right now, so a lot of questions also come around planning. So did you ever have a plan that okay? I know you said that you had a fixed daily target, and until the target is completed, you guys would not sleep and you guys would not stop. But then, did you have a structured plan, to for a preparation, that okay, these are the subjects, these are the chapters, these are the revisions? How was that thing being handled?
So sometimes it happens that you make so many plans, you don't follow it.
Right.
That is one thing. So making so many plans will confuse you also. It may confuse you. So just do one thing, set for daily basis, like long term, 1 month ka you can set, 2 months. I have to finish this much. I have to have a
Right.
revision, like I have to revise for 2 to 3 times. So you can set like that long term, and then short term daily basis you can set. You can take one practical and theory. You can combine them and you can like study a lot hours to them, and then you can like study according to that. That is what I feel.
How about you Arjun? Because you had 40 alarms in your clock, so I definitely feel that you had a proper schedule.
I am a very, if anyone has seen Friends, I'm a very Monica person. I am a proper planning freak. I love planning. For some reason, I have my mom and we go crazy whenever we have to plan. We spend 4 to 5 hours just planning. I have my calendar, and for 1 or 2 months, every day we have certain chapters which we have to do. So unlike Sudeepta, I have a very detailed plan, but it does not. I'll be very honest. The thing what I learned is planning is very important as long as you keep it dynamic. You've got to review your plans every week. It's okay if you're not able to follow your plans, because I never was able to follow my plans. But how you're able to recover from that, how you're able to twist those plans, ki uski deadline that you're still able to reach everything while covering up the time which you've lost. That is something which is very important. So planning, I feel, is very personal. According to me, it's very difficult to clear inter exams without planning because the course is so vast. You've got to do something to gather the entire course. But again, this is very personal, whether or not planning works.
So again, two different approaches. One is planning, proper, meticulous, detailed, day-by-day planning with his mother, obviously. And other side, we have great. You have a broader target, and then try to finish everything. So again, there is no one strategy which would fit everybody. It is purely personal, right? Now, having studied so long hours, both of you said putting up great hours of studies. Did you get free time? Did you have free times for yourself? And what would you do in your free times? And how would you, let us say, de-stress yourself? A lot of things comes around. Students get stressed, so much to study. How do we study? Nahi ho raha hai. So what was your mantra to de-stress yourself? What would you do in your free time?
Always music. Music is one thing that really helps. Music, and also YouTube mein you get those, you laugh, you lose, those challenges, and then comedy videos, stand-up comedies you can watch. You can take a walk, you can hear birds chirping, squirrels playing. That really helps. So you connect with nature. That helps in calming your mind. And you can also talk to your parents, your friends. That also helps.
How about you, Arjun? I thought you also wanted
Exactly
to
the
talk
same.
about music.
No, exactly everything dot to dot the same. Because the thing is, I was one person, if I did not give myself any free time, because I used to get very anxious whenever, if I'm taking 2 hours separately out of the day, कि मैं इसमें chill करूंगा, मैं इसमें socialize करूंगा, that used to make me very anxious कि dude पढ़ ले. So I never gave myself time, मतलब वैसे. So again, I told you, right, 4 in the morning to 8 till night, but I did not study continuously. As I told you, I used to take breaks. अब वो जो 10 minutes का break कैसे design था? 3 songs, 4 songs. It was just me studying for 1.5, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then taking like a 3 to 4 song break. Whenever I was doing my practical subjects, always some or the other song was going on in the background. So songs really, really do help a lot.
Okay, so that's
I stayed away from Netflix and all throughout my prep for about 1 year. But whenever I did watch Netflix for a while, and I would highly suggest, if you're wanting to watch Netflix, again, as Sudeepta said, go for comedies. Don't go for anything serious which will get you involved. Go for those shows which are like 20-minute episodes. They end there, and you don't have that will to like go forward. And again, I would suggest go for a walk daily. I did not exercise, which I really regret. One should exercise, but do go for at least a 1 hour walk sham ko, because it really freshens your mind. Your brain gets the required oxygen after pura din ka study. So it keeps you active and going for the next.
Okay, so that's, but then, so when it comes to watching things on YouTube and all, did you never get tempted that, okay, there is a suggested video, you watch that and then you watch next video and you end up watching 3-4 hours YouTube essay? So did it happen ever? Like
It used to happen in school. It used to happen pehle. But the thing is, once you make up your mind, right, that you don't want to do anything, then you would. I never even started YouTube. For example, I'd uninstalled my Insta about like
okay.
1.5 years before preparations and uninstalled it right after my exams got finished. For like about 3 months in the middle and 4 months before exam, that uninstalled my WhatsApp. But I'd locked my phone up only. I was using my mother's phone. So when you are that determined that you've got to study, and I think this is very important because a rank, it's not about rank, it's about clearing the exams because everything about Inter is so uncertain that you've got to make that sacrifice. And when you have that kind of thing, ki karna hai, then I don't think suggested videos or Netflix ke recommendations or new series which are coming up will really like impact you. ये चीज तो अंदर से ही आती
Okay, so how about you, Sudeepta? Did you end up watching
Same.
3-4 hours someday?
No, same. You have to control yourself. There are many distractions,
Right.
but the thing is, you have to bring it from within you. Until and unless you do that, no one can help you.
So there's a lot
So-
of self-control which is
Yes,
involved that,
definitely.
okay, we'll be in a
Definitely.
controlled environment and we'll do the
And
preparation,
same like Arjun, I had also uninstalled my WhatsApp. Insta to pehle ek saal वैसे pehle I had uninstalled. So you have to do those kind of sacrifices. Otherwise, if you're not able to completely eliminate it, then fix a time, like half an hour a day, where you can solve your doubts, where you can like talk to friends. That can also happen, but just control yourself.
So now we have a lot of questions from students as well. We would like you to answer them to the extent possible, right? So the one of the question is subject-wise strategy. So what I do is I would give group 1 to Sudeepta and group 2 to Arjun. Randomly, I'm giving it. So you can share your strategy subject-wise. So, briefly, if you can tell them how did you approach them, and Arjun, you can talk about group 2 subjects. I think that will also help them to plan out their preparation.
So group one mein, like we have 3 practical subjects, right?
Right.
So practical ka one thing is there, practice. The more you practice, the better you get in that.
Okay.
So one thing I'd suggest is go through all the questions, examples of ICI study material. That is like our Bible. So that you have to do, and then you can, first thing is clear your concepts. Once you're able to clear your concepts, then only you can like strategize your things, and then you can practice. So do everything from ICI study material, and then you can move on to various authors, textbooks. Wherever you're getting questions, practice those. Don't try to solve it for the first time. You may not be able to. Don't get disheartened. See the solution, see how they have done it. And then if you see a similar question, you can again like try to practice on your own, so that you know where you stand and if you are able to solve it or not. For law, one thing is you have to revise on a daily basis, on a regular basis, you have to revise. Aisa nahi ki you are studying it and then you're just like keeping it on hold for some days and then you're again picking it up. That does not work with theory.
Right.
For theory, you can make like flashcards, you can make some notes, points for your understanding, for your own understanding.
So did you also make your own notes?
Yes, I did. I made flashcards. That helped a lot. I used to. So you can make it like a story, a concept. You can make mnemonics. That helps a lot. Your own mnemonics. It's just for your own understanding. There's nothing like you have to make this, like you have to follow this or that. No, just scribble. Once you have understood a concept, just try to scribble and remember. What you can recall. Just write it down. So in that way, also you can do law.
So to summarize, for practical, be conceptually sound and practice as much as you can. Yes. For law paper that she mentioned, try to make your own small notes or flashcards and keep on revising on a daily basis so that you don't lose track. Coming to Arjun, how did you manage? So it's largely more of a theory with I think one of the most feared subject of enterprise information system. And I was also scared at CA final levels, So how did you plan? What was your subject-wise strategy?
Right. So even I'm very terrible where theory is concerned. Even
But you have
it takes me.
scores don't say that. You have great scores in theory. I have numbers with me, like you have 85 in audit and you have 75 in EISSM.
Yeah, I
So
mean that is because I gave much more time to theory towards the end. You
okay.
have to know your weak points in order to really give a good results without a lot of fluctuations. That is very
Mhm.
important.
Okay.
So I would rather get like all 80s rather than getting only 90s in practicals and then 40s in theory. So even
Okay.
that is important. You have to maintain a balance. So talking purely about group two again is majorly theory and a little practical here and there. So again, I'll just like talk about practical first because that's rather clear. Again, as she said, practice. You've got to practice. It goes without saying. Practical में और कुछ है ही नहीं. Whatever, if you're going for any coaching, practice those questions. If you're getting, you have to practice ICA ki modules. Matlab, till now, even till yesterday, I was getting questions. So let's make this very clear. If you're giving a particular institute ka exam, uski institute has given you a question bank. How can you
Correct.
ignore those questions? You have to look at them. For that matter, in costing, I went through the entire study material for each and every question in those one and a
Yes.
half days. You
Yes.
also have to go through the study material in those one and a half days. It is very, very important. So practical ka again, it's more or less clear. You've got to just practice, practice, practice. Please have your concept clarity. Don't just concentrate on questions because क्या होता है? You have a lot of similar questions, so you feel कि एक type of questions हो रहे हैं. But once you're
Mhm.
done with the entire course, you realize इतने सारे concepts हो जाते हैं that you don't remember the questions. So at the end,
Exactly.
it is concepts which help. And inter maybe the exams ICA is not going to give you straight questions because it's inter.
Right.
So
Right.
at some point, the concepts will come handy. So practically, you have to work on concepts. Theory, the main part where I had like a lot of problems. If it is possible, only if it is possible, remember sections. People say that it's not important. I would agree, but if it is possible, remember sections in both law and tax, even in tax
Okay.
and in audit. This helps itna zyada because audit is one subject where you can give all references of the entire course. So if you're
Right.
writing companies act ke sections, you're writing tax ke sections, you're giving essays ki reference, so that increases the quality of your answer. So to
Okay.
audit me you can do that. Baki, what I did, mnemonics again, a lot of them make weird mnemonics.
Yes.
Make those mnemonics which you're very ashamed of that you can't show it to people because you think people will judge them because those are the mnemonics you will actually remember.
Remember.
It's perfectly fine. It's for you. What I did, I used those sticky notes, the square ones,
Yes.
and her topic के साथ में even in EISSM in audit, I used to stick them next to the topic. So उससे क्या benefit होता था? The topics are very very long, right? But the size of the sticky notes remain fixed. So you have to summarize the entire topic in those sticky notes. So usse kya hota hai?
Correct.
You get all the technical words. Again, you can't clear theory subjects just by conceptual clarity. You have to use the technical words. It is expected out of a person who's giving a professional exam. So you will just write those technical words and you can make charts. I made a lot of charts. I made a lot of diagrams, pyramids. I don't know what all. I went crazy towards the end. So you can make because इससे क्या होता है ना, a particular topic and photogenic memory में वो chart रह जाता है. So whenever
Right.
you see the question, you can just quickly scribble it on the question paper, and then you don't have to think throughout the exam. It's just you writing, writing, writing instead of thinking.
Okay.
And another thing, please don't write according to the marks. Write the entire concept. Audit में 2 mark का question हो या 6 mark का question हो, if they're asking a concept, they expect you to write the entire concept चाहे वो 6 page में हो. So you have to manage your speed. जिसके लिए I gave around 40 mock papers before my main exams total मिला.
So, guys, those of you are asking, sorry to interrupt, those of you are asking any mock test series, he has given 40, he has written 40 papers before writing the final 8 papers. That is the amount of practice, he has got into. Yeah, continue.
Papers are extremely extremely important, I feel, because they first of all give you confidence. They tell you which subjects you're good at, which subjects you're not good at. You might think you're good at certain subjects but you're not really good at them. It teaches you time management. It teaches me a lot. For example, it helped me make strategies for my exam. In tax ka paper I did the MCQs in the beginning, but for all the three theory papers I did MCQs at the end. So all of
Okay.
these you can do all permutation and combination in the practice papers, and you'll actually like get to know. So for theory, that really helped, because entire theory, random questions being thrown at me, and I was revising the entire course within those 3 hours. So mock papers also help a lot for theories.
Right. So did you also take up any mock test papers, Sudipta?
Yes, sir, yes. The mock tests, RTPs, past question papers, they are a must.
Must.
They are a must. So
Oh, also,
that
very
is
sorry to interrupt. I did not do 40 mock papers for every subject. I did like 40
no,
in
yeah,
totality.
40 total, right? So for
Yeah,
8 papers, 40.
please
Yeah.
don't get confused. That is not
Yeah. So if it is 40 per subject, then I think it would be only writing mock test papers for 1.5 years. I think that is how. Right. The next question, which is come up, Acha Sunil has asked, is what was your revision strategy? That is, did you revise every day, or did you finish all the syllabus and then start revising? What was the revision strategy?
I think revision actually goes along with your study. So when you're
Okay.
self-studying, anyways, when you're doing the concepts, you will finish the syllabus, but then again, when you're revising the theory, that is also kind of a revision only, right? In
Okay.
the last 2 to 3 months, you can like have a proper revision of all the subjects. But
Okay.
starting also, I feel like it just goes along whether you know it or not.
Okay. So you are revising on a day-to-day basis. How about you, Arjun?
Same, sir. Because the thing is, if you don't revise what you did the previous day, you'll never be able to form a link. So what I used to do, for example, I'll give a tax ka example. For example, if I started with PGBP, I'll do PGBP
Okay.
ka a class. The next day, I would revise the previous class and do the next class. Agle then I would revise all the 2 classes. So it's basically a cumulative revision of every chapter.
Yes.
So इससे क्या होता है? Whenever you reach towards the end, even during classes, the concepts get complex. So by that time,
Correct.
you've revised the initial concept so many times that the base is very strong. So you've got to
Okay.
revise during the classes also, and obviously have a proper revision plan. That is very important after the syllabus is complete. So how I did my revision, I revised one particular chapter. I took
Mm-hmm.
up the ICI module of that chapter, did all the questions, at least reviewed all the questions. Then I had
Right.
downloaded all 4 years RTPs, question papers, one MTP, and I would go through all of them and take out the one question of that particular chapter.
Okay.
So at one time, I used to complete one chapter pura from ICI point of view, because if when you start doing an RTP, you realize it's huge. You can't really do one RTP.
Correct.
But
Correct.
if you do it chapter wise, then you don't even realize when you've done 4 RTPs, you've done 4 question papers, and pata bhi nahi chala.
Exactly. So the key is, yeah, so the key is to revise on a continuous basis. And Arjun said that, after every chapter, before the next class, you revise the previous class, and, in the next class, you revise the previous 2 classes. So that is, I think, 2 different revision strategies, and obviously have a full-fledged revision plan towards the end, right? Then, do you guys do yoga and meditation? So yes or no, I think that can, and how does it help? It's a question from one of the students.
So
I
I used to
don't.
take, yeah, Arjun, please go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. But I
Okay.
honestly regret not doing. Meditation, I feel, is very important. I feel my meditation was when I used to go for a walk, because I used to listen to song. It was just me being with myself. Everyone should have some me time. Like
Correct.
whatever meditation is, a very lucid term. Meditation is what means to you. So like a proper meditation, if you're able to do that, always helps, because I am one person who gets very anxious. So it
Okay.
really helps in controlling your anxiety. So meditation is important. I did not.
You did not. How about you, Sudipta?
Same, I agree with Arjun because I also used to take a walk with my mom. That helped. And meditation, you don't need proper, like if you can do, if you have the time, you can do it. You can go for it. Yoga and exercise is really helpful.
Very good.
But if
Right.
you're not able to do it for some reason, then do some small things. Like listen to music that can help you, that can help calm your mind, or like watch some funny videos, talk to friends, go for a walk, and something else is definitely required too. Like if you can't just sit and study the whole day,
Okay.
that
That's
will
not
make
possible.
you go mad somehow, because you'll be sitting in a like in one place and in one room locked up. You cannot be like that.
So it need not be a structured meditation with mantras and all of that, or some guided tools. It can be anything which you enjoy at the end of it,
Yes.
and that keeps you a break. So that's another question which says, can an MPC student achieve AIR? Yes, definitely. There is no restriction that science students cannot achieve. I have my friends who have achieved ranks after coming from science stream. Then this is a specific question to Arjun, where the student is asking, how did you keep up your CA preparation with daily college at Venki?
For the first three, so I started in January of 2020. That
January
time,
of 2020.
yeah.
Okay.
So I skipped an attempt. I skipped the November attempt. I appeared for July 2020, 2021 state.
Okay. Okay. Though you were eligible for November 20, you skipped that attempt.
Yeah, because I anyways had regular college, so I couldn't start my articleship anyways till college ends.
Okay.
So I started in January 2020, 1.5 years back. And for 3 months, it was very difficult for me to keep up because, again, college was happening and physical college.
Yeah.
So I used to wake up, study, then go to college. And I'm also part of the dramatic society, so ski practice, then come back, then gym. So for first 3 months, it was very difficult. But after that, I realized how I was actually not able to give time to CA. And COVID happened. So mom really helped me because for 1 full year of college, she attended all my online classes, basically giving my attendance. She had my phone, and I was just studying for CA. So it's very simple. You've got to give priority to CA. College is very simple. I'm not going to say it out loud, but you know how you can easily clear your college. Everyone does that, especially if you're a CA student.
Right.
But you've got to give a CA that extra time during the day. Please start skipping classes. Please don't tell this that I said this.
Yeah. Okay. So that is right behind the scenes. So, okay. Then did you do any kind of ABC analysis, both of you? So, Deepta, and did you have like, these are important topics, these are not important topics? Did you do some kind of ABC analysis?
One thing I feel is in CA, everything is important. You cannot be like, this is important, this is not important. One thing can be more important, one thing can be a bit less important, but every single thing is important. Like we saw in July attempt also, ABC kind of didn't work for some papers.
Okay.
So you can have a ABC analysis, but just do every single thing. Don't even leave one thing that might not come. Because it'll happen like वही topic आ जाएगा जो आप छोड़ कर गए हो.
Okay.
That you feel that it's like, least important. Like audit also we saw, they give like from small 2-3 points they made out a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we cannot leave topics and so right now both of you would have done your preparation when Corona hit, COVID hit, and the entire world is upside down. Still we are having issues. So how did you manage classes? I think it was mostly online classes. That is one thing. And was there any stress around because of COVID happening? So how did you manage this time of such a stress going along, and then how did you manage studying from home in such a case, and how much of attention you could put into the classes? How was it like?
So I anyways had planned to take all online classes from the very beginning. So and anyways for foundation also I had taken online classes, so I was used to online classes. I was more comfortable with online classes because again I used to wake up at 3. सुबह 4 बजे तो कोई classes नहीं लेगा मेरे लिए. So I had to go with online classes. So that part wasn't trouble. Ulta, I'm personally much more comfortable with online classes.
Okay.
Yes, COVID time was extremely stressful. Touch wood, with God's grace, my family was safe. But everything was very stressful, and even I went through a very low phase during that time. I think everyone went through that. Yeah. But I think there's just one key: keep yourself away from the news. Don't look at newspapers. Don't look at news because it's just sad out there, and the course which you're doing isn't very peppy, anyways. So it's just going to be doubly sad. So you see, what CA students don't do, what I did not do and I regret doing, is giving first priority to their mental health. And I feel there's nothing in this world, no AIR, no results, no passing is more important than their mental health. So if you feel that you're losing a part of yourself while studying with all the corona news, then give yourself a break. Once you have that break, don't concentrate on the corona news. Don't look at the corona news. Just concentrate on your studies. But first, take care of your mental health. That's very important.
Okay, so how was with you, Sudeepta? How did you, manage the online classes? Did you like them, and what was it?
Yes, I'm comfortable with online classes because like home may also I can stay for the
And
whole day and
prepare.
like sit. Yeah, that's not a problem. I had like initial days I had physical classes so I had to go, but online it's up to you what you're comfortable with. If you
Okay.
feel that no, you need that physical experience, he need
Mm-hmm.
सामने teacher होंगे and they will like
Teach.
teach and stuff, then you can go for physical classes. Otherwise online plus point की traveling कम हो जाता है. Then
Right.
you can like recorded classes are there, you can take from any time you want to.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, see, everybody would be feeling really low, like Arjun said, and
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately both of my parents were done with COVID, so it
Oh,
took
okay.
like 1.5 months for them to recover completely. That was a very very stressful period, but somehow we had to like keep on going. I had to keep my studies up even though it was difficult, because my parents also like encouraged me to study, not like stop, but my brother also helped. So I think you only have to somehow motivate yourself, because it does not matter how many advices, suggestions you receive. Listen to all of them, but ultimately it's on you how you take it, how you overcome, how you pick yourself.
Okay.
Even when you're at your lowest, how you pick yourself, how you come out from that, it's up to you.
Right. So now, you had classes. So how much, you think classes contributed to the rank, and how much was your effort? I know, large portion would be your efforts, but if you have to quantify, okay, what percentage would you attribute to the classes, and what percentage would you attribute to your preparation, and what percentage to your, support system at family and friends and all of that?
Aj, you want to go?
I mean, this is,
Difficult question. You can skip it. No.
yeah, because the thing is, all getting a rank or even like passing the exam, it's like these three things, these are three liquids which you mix. So you really can't say which is more important. It's all of them together are very important. But like
Right.
saying ki classes are less important or self-study is more important, but I can't give a percentage to support. That is very important. See, I can tell you why each and every one of them is important. If you don't have classes, then you would not have that kind of conceptual understanding. Without self
Exactly.
study, you cannot clear, as simple as that. If you, that might be the most important, but you've got to study on your own because it is a
Mm-hmm.
correspondence course that has to happen.
Right. Right.
And support ka to khair, you can't even imagine where you would stand if you would not have any support.
So I
So
think,
you
okay,
really
so we
can't
can't put
allot percentages,
weightage.
but they're
Yeah,
all
yeah.
important together.
So what, Sudipta, also, what do you think
We
on that?
cannot, yeah, we cannot quantify it.
Yeah, I
Ki
think you guys,
important, that is more important. No. Everything has to go in together. Everything like makes you what you are. Like makes you that thing,
so
gives
both
you
of
that.
you are being humble, I should say, but I think, a lot of thing goes behind your hard work and your efforts that you put in. Yes, definitely, everything around matters, but you are at the core, and we should be thankful, and we should congratulate for that kind of effort and dedication that you put. You can take the horse to the pond, but the water drinking and all is the horse perspective. So that is what it is, right? I have one question what a lot of students have been asking is, now that the results are declared late, okay, so results are just declared now, for especially for the foundation students who are doing inter now they just have 7 months time in hand, right? So how should they plan their, or how should they approach their studies so that they can prepare as well as they can revise and be prepared for the examination? So would you like to share any thoughts on that?
I think start from today itself. Even if the results are declared late, you can start studying from this very moment. Plan according to what you're comfortable with. Keep at least like 1 to 1.5 months if time is less for revision. You can have at least 2 revisions in there. And
Right.
yeah, so like plan according to what you're comfortable with. Just make sure that you complete everything in the time,
Okay.
even if there are any breaks, anything. Even if the road is a little bit bent, you just have to reach that final thing, no? So just keep that in mind and do it.
Definitely. So, Arjun, what are your thoughts? How do you think
I
they
am
should
really
approach
not the
this?
right person here because I skipped an attempt and I cannot give a strategy for 8 months. But yes, I do agree. There is it is never early to start for inter. Inter
Okay.
is so huge, you start 4 years and you'll still have something or the other to do every day. So start as early as possible, even if you're planning to give after the following attempt. If you are for some reason also planning to skip, I would still suggest start as soon as possible. Give yourself like if you're planning to skip an attempt, because many वैसे कहते हैं, if give yourself a little break, enjoy this time, but then start off and then start off पूरा उसके साथ full force के साथ.
Okay. So there is no harm in skipping an attempt, but even if you're planning to skip an attempt, start today itself, right? So that is
Yeah,
what.
especially I mean, it's if you're wanting to skip an attempt, you really got to like understand why you want to do it. Is you have to have like a reason. If you're really aiming for a rank and you know that you have that potential, that capability, and you will get a rank after skipping, that is one reason. Why I skipped an attempt is because I'm doing regular college, and मैं एक attempt पहले करूँ बाद में करूँ, I still can't start my articleship, so मेरा फर्क नहीं पड़ता. So
Mhm.
so don't just blatantly skip attempts. Understand why you. If you have like a valid reason, only then skip an attempt.
Okay. So another question is on the 1.5 day strategy between the papers. That is, I think, very crucial time, and also the 3 hour strategy during the paper. How do you, take it?
um this
Go Sudeepta,
1.5 hours you have to actually like cover everything, but no, अभी पहले से अगर revision किया है, so you will know which are the like areas you need to work on. So before a day you can go through all of that, all
Right.
those important areas which you feel that you need a little bit more practice, or you need to revise, and you need to just look at it once more.
Mhm.
You have to do that, and RTPs, MTPs also you can go through.
Correct.
Before that day, I personally went through the RTPs, MTPs question papers before that day. I picked some of the questions like from each concepts, which I felt was like had everything, almost like many points would be
Okay.
covered in that question, like a full-fledged question. So I
Right.
practiced those. And then 3 hours mein to you cannot say anything, because see, 3 hours ka pata bhi nahi chalta. It's like 3 minutes, it just goes away. For that, you need to have time management, definitely. Abhi RTPs and MTPs karte, you will definitely be able to reduce your time and
Okay.
go as per your wish, because I started with MCQs. Arjun said he
Mhm.
did for some papers at the last. I
Right.
did it at the first because I found it easy ki 30 marks ka complete kar lo, fir I can move on to the next questions.
Okay.
So it's actually on you how you find it comfortable. While practicing MTPs, RTPs, you can see what you're comfortable with.
Okay. So how?
And one more thing is drink. Keep your mind calm. Even if you're panicking, you have to just suppress that and then focus on writing. You cannot think about anything else in that 3 hours. Whatever efforts you've given in, everything you have to put it in those 3 hours.
So what was your strategy, Arjun, in those 3 hours, and also the 1.5 days
One
before
and
a
a half
paper?
days in 3 hours. So obviously, those 1.5 days are very important, but they're extremely stressful as well. So first of all, you've got to be mentally prepared for that. Just like I would say, give yourself extra time for accounts का paper, so that that stress does not come accounts के paper के लिए. तो एक paper के लिए तो stress कम हो जाए, because those 1.5 days are very crucial. Once you're done with the paper, don't discuss it. I never talk to a single person in my center. Don't discuss the paper with anyone. Don't look at the paper. Give it, lock it in some one corner. Don't think about the paper. जो हो गया सो हो गया. Just move on after that. Give yourself proper sleep. At least before the paper, you need at least a 6 to 8 hours sleep. Do not compromise on the sleep. And ये तो please मत ही करना कि पढ़ते पढ़ते जा रहे हैं अपने night suit में. You have to give yourself that proper break. 1.5 days में what I did, again, ICI module, if you can review the entire ICI module. I reviewed the entire costing के ICI module. For papers like audit जिसमें बहुत ज़्यादा questions थे, I had marked which ICI questions I had problems in. So go through those questions. Just like Sudeepta did her RTPs and all. since I had done my RTPs during the revision plan, so I had like a sticky notes पे written in front of every chapter which RTP का which question I felt was difficult. You can go through them. So इस way में you can go through ICI related जो भी typical questions है वो कैसे हो सकता है. So that is one thing which is important. बाकी 1.5 days में just it is very stressful, but stay calm and stay focused हो जाएगा. And most importantly वो time खत्म हो जाएगा, because that was the one thing which was on my mind all the time because it was very difficult.
Okay.
When we talk about those 3 hours, so obviously those 3 hours are very, very, very important. What I did was, first of all, I never studied in the exam center. I did not even take any book to the exam center. I just went
Okay.
there and I used to take a walk. There was this one very nice song which I used to like, different for every paper, and I just used to hum that, calm myself down, because stress में you tend to forget and get baffled बहुत ज़्यादा. So
Exactly.
keep yourself calm. Last moment revision में उतना ही help होगा जितना होगा, और stress ना हो जाए. So keep yourself calm. Us 3 hours में, see, again, that is the reason why I gave mock test papers, because you have so much to plan in those 3 hours. That is why I practiced a lot कि उन 3 hours में what all you have to do. But one thing which I did, आगे पीछे का मत सोचो. If you're doing one question, then think that that one question is your paper and try to perfect that question. And then when you move on to the next question, that one question will become your entire paper. Don't think of what you're going to do or what you have done till now. Perfect that one question which you're doing, obviously keeping the time in mind. Once you keep perfecting the questions, then the stress level will also be low. And again, MCQs, I would suggest for theory papers, do it at the end. For practical tax, may do it at the beginning.
Okay, so good strategies and tips, and also a question on presentation. That is again, how do you present? Like, how do you present the theory papers, and how do you present the questions which have numericals? So, how do you approach them? Like, what any specific way to present the answers?
It is always preferable to present answers properly. I mean, you're going to get marks according to that. I'll be very honest. Presentations are very important. One very important point which I did, I used to write the answer. I used to start every answer, every part on a different page, so that वो miss ना हो जाए examiner से. And proper I used to write answer 3A first part in a box, top में center में, so that the examiner knows कि नया answer.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
For practical ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Practical, please use a pencil, use a scale. Don't just go हम ऐसे line बनाएंगे, ऐसे करेंगे. अच्छी presentation नहीं लगती, खुद को भी feeling अच्छी नहीं आती. If you're going for accounts, make proper accounts with a pen, pencil. Do all your practice in that. वो जल्दी हो जाएगा. उसमें इतना time नहीं waste होता. But make proper tables. Even in costing, even in FM, whenever you're doing questions, it is always preferable. Even if you're doing NPV wale questions, it is always preferable to make tables in practical with a pencil. Right. Other than that, in theory, I would again, I'm keep going back to giving mock papers, because presentation also you learn a lot mock papers में अपना दे के. But theory में I would say हर का different है. Law में, for example, you have all case studies have, you start with the relevant section, then you write the legal position, then you write facts, then you write analysis, you end with the conclusion. That is law का. Audit में you generally write एक para में सीधा, starting with the relevant essay की reference. EIS SM में I made as many charts as possible. गोले करके ऐसे पूरा सा umbrella वगैरह बना के proper charts I made. That worked for EIS SM. For steps, for example, in SM, I made a heading. उसके नीचे I wrote all the steps in some kind of a chart. Then I explained all the steps. Whenever there were points, I used to like have the heading. उसके around make like this random wheel spokes वाला चीज, and then explain all points. So that I did for EISSM. For ECO again, I wrote answers either. So this is for every paper, it is different.
Right. Anything you would like to add on this, onto this, Sudeepta? Any different strategy or approach for presentation?
Yeah, I think Arjun said it really well. Every paper has different strategies. You cannot keep same strategy for 2-3 papers. No, you have to plan accordingly and keep the formats in mind. 12th May, anyways, you do accounts, right? So you have to like pencil and scale. Say you have to do the lines and you have to make the boxes. So keep that practice. Practice with the formats. It may take some time, but it's going to help you in the exams. It looks neat. Keep your paper neat. If you're cutting, just put a single line. Don't like cross it fully, or just start it again. Like pencil, so you can make a box and then just cut like one line. That
Right.
would look neat. Sections like Arjun said, just break it into paras. Do not write like an essay. If
Mhm.
possible, use bullets. That looks good. Bullets, you can make charts, you can make like boxes and then diagrams, and then in that also you can write points. That
Right.
looks good. That like takes less time and it gives you good marks too. You can also go through that summary of examiners' comments. So they are giving you the comments. They are telling you what you need to do in order to get good marks. Just have a look at that once. It is definitely gonna help you on how to present yourself. I mean, present your answers.
Yeah. So just to add on to that, I see a lot of students writing two lines in a within a single line, right? So you can actually use more papers. There is no harm. You have paid the fees, and you can take as
Yes.
many additional sheets you want to ask. As Arjun was mentioning, right? Starting every answer in a new.
Ulta, I feel you should write everything kulla kulla. I
Right.
remember in Eco FM I took 10 additional sheets.
Right.
There are no limit of sheets that you have. Ulta, go crazy
Exactly.
with the number of sheets. At least the
Yes.
examiner will think that you've written a lot, you know a lot. So
Right.
खुला खुला
Right.
रखो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
Just keep it neat
So
as much as possible.
Exactly.
उतना अच्छा रहता
so
है.
right now, coming back to I think we've taken a lot of questions. Coming back to your journey further, obviously this is celebration time, and then this is not the end, right? This is just the second
Just
level. Now we have the third level of articleship and the fourth level of clearing final, and obviously placement, career, all of those happen, right? So immediately, what are your thoughts around articleship? How will you choose a particular articleship firm? What are your expectations? So what would you like to share on those, Sudeep?
So I want to get as much learning as possible. Learning happens every day. You can learn from anyone, anytime.
Right.
Never stop learning. So I've just been keeping that in mind, and yeah, articleship ke liye to exposure is required. Meet new people, talk with them, expand your network. That is gonna help you. And yeah, prepare for CA finals. I think.
Okay, so articleship and preparation for CA final.
Yes.
Right. How about you, Arjun? What are your thoughts?
I
When do you want to
have
start?
been aiming for the big four for a while now.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
So I'm really hoping and looking forward to hopefully get into one of them. And
You would definitely get it too.
so that's I've really been looking forward to articleship because I my favorite subject out of the eight has been audit, and I really want to get into audit also. And audit, what we've done is just theory, so like actually going and performing audits, that excites me a lot. I have a lot
Okay.
of time till my articleship though. My articleship is going to start next year only because again college, so I can think about what to do. It's going to be around.
Okay, so there is a year gap, and I think it is appreciable, and all the students also should think through this, that he's taken decisions that okay, I'll skip an attempt because I'll not be able to manage my studies with college. Then I have one more year of college to complete, and then I'll start my articleship. So there is no hurry, right? You can take your own path, own journey, and you can focus on what you can do and make a clear and thoughtful choice on that. It's not that because my friend is doing now, let's say maybe Sudeepta would be writing the final exams a year earlier than when Arjun would be writing, right? But still it's still okay because that's a personal choice, right? So how about you, Sudeepta? So you're starting your articleship and you're starting your classes. Anything else you want to do apart from pursuing CA final? Any other thoughts immediately, or right now it's only articleship and CA final?
Right now, I think I want to focus on this. I'm going to do correspondence from IGNO. So that is one more thing.
So
Along
you're
with
right now
CA.
doing BCom from as correspondence. Is that's what you're doing right now?
Yeah. I'll start.
Okay.
I've registered for it. So there's
Okay. So
this
you have not yet
MOU
started.
between ICI and IGNO, right? You can
Right.
do, yeah, that I'm going to do.
Okay, so then, so one last question from one more student. After completing the classes of each chapter, how did you retain the information? So memory में इधर कैसे retain करते थे?
वो तो फिर practice ही करना पड़ेगा. Notes
retain होता
banana
नहीं, वो
padega.
retain करना पड़ता है बार बार
Yes,
करके.
yes.
So did you guys ever
Concentration
forget
improve.
things?
Yeah.
Did you guys
Yeah,
forget?
See,
obviously
we are
everyone
also
forgets
human.
things.
We're also human beings. So, and forgetting happens.
Okay,
But,
I
because
still
you know,
remember I forgot my entire law. I had to redo my entire law.
because a lot of students feel that rank holders don't forget, and we keep on
no,
forgetting. How
no,
do we manage? So guys,
nothing
it's
like
common
that.
to forget. It's common to forget. We are human beings. We tend to forget things,
Yes.
and I think what they mentioned is go back, practice, revise
You
again.
can, but you can do some memory exercises so that you improve your concentration and then memory, like memorizing skills. You can do
It's
them, but
repetition,
still, yeah,
repetition.
repetition. Yes.
I mean, there's no smart work which you can do in remembering. It's always the hard work. You've got to itni baar revise that you look at the topic and the entire thing comes back to you.
Yes.
Even you'll reach that stage. That happened with me. But like uske liye baar you have to do.
Okay.
So
So
theory ka to jaise bhi you have to like go through the entire thing always. Like keep just doing it. You cannot leave it for like a long time.
okay. Okay. So then, did you get any unexpected question paper? Like was any question paper unexpected, or was any question unexpected?
I mean, not really, because again, I knew from the beginning that the paper is not going to be easy. It's inter K exams. You do go with that mindset that the paper is going to be difficult and it might be the most difficult thing you'll ever do. I did
Right.
not get any unexpected paper. All paper were of very good levels. Yeah, I was a little two papers for that matter surprised me a little. Costing a paper was a little unexpected. I mean, there were a
Yes.
lot of questions which I did for the very first time, purely using my concepts, purely.
Okay.
And audit ka paper not for the reason ki wo difficult tha, no. For the reason ki there were questions from the study material जो डायरेक्टली डाले हुए थे. मैं मॉम को घर पे आके पूरा मॉड्यूल से एक ही क्वेश्चन दिखा रहा था ऑडिट में. लिटरली द लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ द सेकंड मॉड्यूल, व्हाट इज गवर्नमेंट ऑडिट, वो डॉट टू डॉट क्वेश्चन वाज देयर. So audit में a lot of questions came from the modules. That surprised me a little. But other than that, you expect the exams to be difficult. They were difficult.
Sudeepta, how was with you? Did you find anything unexpected?
Unexpected, you cannot see. ICI, you cannot expect the expectations, like the expected questions you cannot expect actually. So it will be
Right.
new. There will be variations. You have to be prepared for that. Even if you're not, just try to attempt it as much as possible, because marks are allotted according to the steps. That helps.
Right.
Yeah, costing ka, there were new concepts, but still try to attempt as like using your concept, like Arjun said. वो हो जाता
You will
है.
be able to manage.
Yes.
So one last question on preparation. After this, I will not take anyone else. It's for Arjun, because Arjun said his favorite subject was audit. Sudeepta, what was your favorite subject, by the way?
I have to yet explore more, but I like accounts. But the irony is, I panicked most in that. That was the first paper. I messed it up.
Okay. But still, you ended up getting a good score in that, right?
No, yeah, but still, like, I like account. Audit also, I like.
Okay, so just in a quick 1 minute, how to approach auditing, Arjun?
Approach auditing as in preparation?
During preparation. Yeah.
So I did my classes, audit ka, and then I totally forgot audit because मैंने बहुत time तक उसे नहीं किया. So audit की preparation for that matter is actually not that different from बाकी subjects. What I personally felt in audit was like बहुत similar sounding questions हैं जिनके बहुत ज़्यादा different answers हैं, and you're not able to like remember कौन किसका क्या answer है. And the thing with audit is it looks as if it's very general, but if you don't use those specific words, you're going to lose marks. So keep certain things in mind. First of all, use professional language. It's very simple. If you're going to say in the auditor's opinion, or if you say as per the auditor, you're not going to get marks. But if you say in the auditor's professional judgment, you're going to get marks. So audit के specific terms you have to write in the exams. Essay के numbers remember. बाकी don't go with an audit का exam general सोच के. जो questions हैं उन क्वेश्चंस को वैसे रखना है. ऑडिट में रखना की प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे बहुत आई थी. सो एज आई सेड, make charts specific to the concept so that you can split everything into concepts and उसमें कर पाओगे. बाकी in audit, please do the module. Because जो भी typical questions है जो again as Sudipta said दो तीन lines से भी आते हैं, most of them are also mentioned in audit का paper. Audit का paper personally is very easy to clear, very difficult to score because 30 marks of MCQs, 14 marks of true and false, 40 marks यहाँ पर cover होते हैं. But to score it is very difficult. So again I started with descriptive. After that I did true and false. After that I did MCQs. So if you're having trouble in auditing, which is very मेरे साथ होता है, I still remember the last mock paper I gave before my audit exams. I scored 46 and a half. So audit is very uncertain. But mock papers, I would say, really will help you explore how to answer different type of questions, especially vouching verification. I did not do that chapter at all. मैंने आज तक उस chapter को छुआ नहीं. But with all other chapters, how you're able to construct an audit का answer that it seems that you studied for that particular question. How you're able to attempt a question जो आज तक सोचा भी नहीं. That all you've got to know because audit में वो होता है. Try and attempt law वाले questions audit में because सीधे marks है. जितने factual audit के questions होंगे उतने easy marks होंगे. Remember the limits. Quote the sections wherever possible in law, especially company audit mein, along with the subsections, the clauses, very important. That's I think about it.
Okay, so as we move towards the conclusion of the interview, so to each one of you, one must do and one must not do advice for the students. They are looking up to you for your thoughts on that. What should they do and what should they not be doing? One thing that you'd like to tell everyone who is watching the interview or would be watching it later on YouTube channel.
So I think one thing you must do is be consistent.
Okay.
Always keep just your final thing in mind. Never let go of that. One thing you should not do, I think whatever distractions are there, make sure you try to avoid those and do not take anything for granted.
Do not
Never,
anything.
ever.
But yes. So when you mentioned, avoid distraction, how would you avoid distractions? Like, see, we get distracted, right? Even like I get distracted. Like I start something and, I start from one email, I land up to somewhere else and then somewhere else and then somewhere else. And I realize, oh, I'd come to reply to a particular email, right? So how would you, manage those distractions from a student's perspective?
So that again comes back to self-control only. You cannot do anything else for that, I feel. Like WhatsApp and social media. You have to fix a time. You can tell your parents, like Arjun did, he just gave away his phone to his mother. Mm-hmm. So like you can do that. And yeah, for me, I was able to, if you're able to like completely avoid it, avoid them. Otherwise, fix a time. I don't think so there's any other way you will be able to avoid them. Like distractions happen. It happens for us also. But we have to manage it. We have to handle. We have to control ourselves. Is what I feel.
So Arjun, what is your one must do and one should not do advice to the students?
Should not do is totally social media. Stay as away from it as possible. Stay away from all the negativity. If your friends who are also, I did not have a lot of friends who were doing CA. I mostly had friends who were not doing CA from college.
But still you end up getting friends who got ranks along with you.
Yeah.
That is commendable, right?
Yeah. So, but point is, if you have friends who are doing CA, talk about things other than CA. Don't talk about their preparation because it will unnecessarily give you tension. So don't do that. One must do study for that half an hour extra every day. Push yourself. Don't push yourself itna ki 2 din baad toot jao. Everyone knows that limits. But do that extra bit for the course. As Sudeepta said, either continue till late at night or, as I said, wake up early. Given those extra hours, put in that extra effort, and please give papers before giving like the main exams, practice papers so that you know how it's going to go time management ke liye and do ICI ki module for sure.
Okay, so thanks a lot for your wonderful insights and sharing it openly with the students. I'm definitely sure that students would be watching this video and interview. They would get something out of this, and that would help them in the preparation, right? And once again, heartiest congratulations. You have made it with lots of efforts Congratulations to your parents as well, to everyone who has been involved in your preparation. And thanks again for taking time out. I know it's a celebratory day, and then celebrate. Be with your friends, families, and enjoy your time. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for inviting, sir. Thank you for inviting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, students, for joining in, and see you next time. Bye.
Thank you.